Hey everyone, how you doing? It is Craig Campbell, and checking out the story behind the cardboard of one Gordy Coleman. And today we have this nice 1961 Topps card of Gordy. I really dig the Reds cap. That logo is really cool. Enjoy that. Gordy was a first baseman with the Cincinnati Reds, and pretty nice card, actually. A decent centering for a 61. Yeah, it's off left to right, top to bottom a little bit, but I mean, if you know the 61 set, you know that, man, sometimes it can be really, really butchered. And that's the back of the card, number 194. If you notice, Gordy did have military service 1957 to 58. Thank you for your service, Mr. Gordy Coleman. So let's get to the story behind the cardboard of Gordy Coleman. Pretty interesting story about him. And there we go. All right. Gordy Coleman. He was a four-star athlete in high school, and he actually attended Duke University as a football player for 1 year. And he just was a fabulous, just a great athlete in school. Four-star, just, I mean, everything, he excelled in it. And so he played football at Duke, and then he turned pro in 1953, and that was the end of his college days. And he signed with the Indians in 1953. Now, he had actually played before that. He'd played semi-pro baseball. Traveled, and they went to Minnesota, and he was actually on a team with Herb Score, and that's how he kind of got noticed, because the scouts were really interested in Herb Score, and they noticed Gordy Coleman was one heck of a ball player as well. And so he goes to the Indians, and in 1955 he's playing Class B baseball with the Indians, and some of his teammates were, you'll recognize some of these names. He played with Jim Mudcat Grant, Norm Cash, who had a great career, Russ Nixon, and Tony Kubek. So that was a loaded team when you think about it. That Class B team had 5 major leaguers, and all of them pretty darn good. I mean, Grant was a great pitcher. Cash, of course, a borderline, Hall of Very Good for sure. Russ Nixon, Tony Kubek, Gordy Coleman. So he's playing with that team, and then in 1957 and 58 he goes to the U.S. Army, as I mentioned before. Again, Gordy, thank you for your service. So he served in the Army, and he gets called back out and comes back to the minor leagues, and he's playing for the team in Mobile in Alabama in the Southern Association. And he was the league MVP in 1959. And he was actually the Triple Crown winner as well, when he hit 30 home runs, 110 RBI with a 353 average. I mean, you want to talk about having a heck of a year. And of course, he makes his major league debut September 19th of 1959 after mashing the ball in AAA. And his very first at-bat, Gordy hits a triple. His first at-bat got a triple. And he made 16 plate appearances that year and had a 533 average in the major league. So what a nice debut for him there in late September call-up in 1959. He gets traded to the Reds December 15th of 59. And he split his time in 1960 between the Reds and AAA, and he hits his first at-bat with the Reds. He hits a home run. So not a bad way to impress your new team. Your very first at-bat, you hit a home run. And he ended up taking over as the first baseman from the great Hall of Famer Frank Robinson, who moved to left field. And in 1961, Gordy became the starting first baseman. Hit 287 with 26 homers. And the Reds lost that year to the World Series to the New York Yankees when he hit 5 for 20 in that World Series, 250 average. And he had 1 home run and 2 RBI. And he always said that his biggest thrill of his Major League Baseball career was hitting that home run in the 1961 World Series against the New York Yankees. 1962, he has a really nice year, 28 home runs. That was his career high, 86 RBI. .277 average. But then in 63 and 64, the injury started to kind of take their toll. By 65, he's splitting time with a youngster, future Hall of Famer named Tony Perez. But Gordy still managed to hit .302 that year. In 1966, he was primarily used as a pinch hitter. And he had a .368 average as a pinch hitter, which I believe is the highest pinch hit average in Major League Baseball history for having a certain number of at-bats. 67, his plays his last year. He was 4 games, 8 plate appearances, and he finished out the year with AAA Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, Gordy Coleman was very, very much loved by the Reds organization as he became part of their Speakers Bureau. He traveled the state, the region, making over 1,000 appearances. And he was much loved by the community of Reds fans, so much that he was actually entered into the Reds Hall of Fame. And he was a great player, but he was more of an ambassador for the Cincinnati Reds than anything. And he was actually the color commentator on TV from 90 to 93 for the Reds. And shockingly, at just the age of 59, Gordy passed away in 1994, which was a real shock to the Reds because he was such an advocate, such a good spokesman for the Cincinnati Reds especially during the winter time. He traveled all over the state, wherever the Reds fan base was at. Gordy Coleman was there giving a speech, and he finished his career with a .273 average, not too bad, with 98 home runs and 387 RBI. And so here's a guy that served in the country, battled through the minor leagues, was the Triple Crown winner, the league MVP, and made a nice name for himself with the Cincinnati Reds. And so that is the story behind the cardboard for Gordy Coleman. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Happy New Year. And I look forward to more stories behind the cardboard. Personally, I enjoy learning more about these players that we have in our sets. I should say before I close out that Gordy's rookie card is the 1960 Topps, and his last card is a 1967 Topps. Every year he had a card between 60 and 67, so if you're a set builder of the 60 sets, you'll be familiar with the name Gordy Coleman. All right, guys, until next time, take care. Enjoy this hobby. Again, happy New Year 2026. Let's make it a good year. Take care, everyone.